Welcome to Change is Simple's online learning. My name's Dom. I'm one of the lead educators here at Change is Simple. Change is Simple is a nonprofit that teaches students about climate education and sustainability. Instead of lectures and textbooks, we inject games, activities, curiosity, and creativity right into their classrooms. Our curriculum empowers students to make a difference in their world. We educate about 7,000 students right in their classrooms every year. Now, you can join us right here online for a new series of fun-filled activities that you can do right at home with all of your friends here at Change is Simple. Hope to see you there.
Hi there, I'm Lauren and this is Patrick. We're the co-founders of Change is Simple, and we're here at the North Beverly School where it all started.
Yeah, we're going to go on a virtual field trip today. We're going to take you into the woods back here, but we're not just going to be learning about the woods today. We're actually going to be learning all about the water system here in Beverly and kind of explain how water systems in your drinking water works, and there's a lot of clues right here in the woods, so we're going to have a blast. So stick with us. All you need today is a piece of paper and a marker. The path into the woods is right at the edge of the soccer field here at the North Beverly School. It's always open and you can see right where the path goes from here. So let's go on in.
When you first come in, you'll see a path on the left, stay straight, and then at the first fork, stay right. Then when you come to the chain link fence, take a sharp right and onto the pavement.
We're gonna go check out a cool part of the city that a lot of people see from the highway, but not often up close. We're gonna go to the city's water tower. Steep road here, and we were going for a walk in the woods, but we ended up on pavement, and these are just access roads for people that work on the water tower and can access this. You can't drive your car back here, so we're still kind of in the woods, and a lot of times in the morning we'll see deer and owls over here, so it's a great place. We're gonna head on up to the top and check out that water tower. This is the city's water tower. It holds 6 million gallons of water. It was recently repainted this kind of sky blue color. It used to be checkered orange and white. It was built in 1993.
Now on your piece of paper, draw a water tower and label it. So if you search around a little bit, you'll find this old staircase, and you can follow it up to get a different view of that water tower.
The water tower is a significant part of our drinking water system. It holds 6 million gallons, like we said, which is about a day's worth of water for Beverly and Salem. A swimming pool holds about 20 to 30,000 gallons. So this is a lot of water. Now, where does the water that goes into the water tower come from? Well, that's what we're going to learn about today. So we started here at the North Beverly School, and we walked into the woods and up to the water tower, which you can see, it's still that orange and white color that it was. Now it's painted. But the water tower holds that 6 million gallons of drinking water for our city in the city of Salem. But we're going to walk through the woods over here towards Norwood Pond. And Norwood Pond is important because it also connects to an important part of our water system, which is the Miles River. It cuts across Dodges Row right here and goes right across Dodges Row in North Beverly and into the Miles River. Before we explore much further on the map, let's get back into Norwoods and explore the woods a little bit more and head on down to the pond and see what we can find. And we find this little path. You can tell where it is because there's a little stack of wood, and the deer love this spot in the morning. And we're just gonna dive into this little path here on the right-hand side of that road coming down the hill. And this is where Norwood's woods really starts, and we can really start to explore. But again, there's so many beautiful flowers out in the woods right now. Gotta get out there.
We often don't think about flowers being out in the woods, but there are so many wildflowers you can find. If you're lucky enough, you can even find these lady slippers, which are a type of wild orchid. Just make sure you don't pick them because they're rare and protected.
In the woods, you'll see all these different types of textures and colors in all different areas, and this area happens to be filled with these beautiful ferns that will keep growing all summer long, and they really just kind of change the feel of the forest in this area. We're traveling through the woods here from the water tower along this pathway here, which you can see. Unfortunately, there's no trail maps, but you can see we head right on over to the pond. We love being out in the woods because we get to see all types of animals while we're out here. Can you spot the chipmunk tucked in here? Probably not, because he camouflages himself so well. But there's a lot of different birds and mammals that we find out here that are all impacting this ecosystem. Let's take a look at a couple. Here we have some white-tailed deer, which are beautiful and agile. They're feeding on some grasses and some shrubs, but they also feed on things like raspberries. Sometimes they even get into your garden. And we have also, really cool, is our eastern coyotes, which live up here in the woods, and sometimes they run around in our streets, and they get a bad rap, but they are a beautiful animal, and it's always fun to see them, and at a safe distance, of course. And the birds around here are amazing. We, of course, have wild turkeys, which we can see also on the streets as we are living side by side with these animals. But one of our favorites is the barred owl, which we find oftentimes out here in the woods. These barred owls are beautiful animals. You can hear them at night, and if you're lucky enough to catch a glimpse of them, it's pretty amazing. And then as we get down by the water here, we're going to see a lot of these red-winged blackbirds, and they make this beautiful sound, and they fly around, and they are always around wetlands. Down by the water here, we find a snowy egret, which is a beautiful white crane, and along with some Canadian geese, and the Canadian geese have some babies with them, which are awesome. And we even found, if we look close, across the pond, we will find that we saw a family of swans. And it's tough to see the babies, but they're there. In this area, you can see some of the trees have been chewed by beaver. This is a super cool spot. It's actually a peninsula. Look up what that is. You walk up on it and you can see water kind of all around you.
We've made it to the pond, so now draw Norwood Pond on your paper and label it.
So we're taking a walk in the woods, but we're really talking about water, and we have the pond behind us here, but the water system here in Beverly and in most communities is actually super connected. So all the little ponds are connected together, as we're hearing fish jumping behind us here. All the little ponds and lakes and rivers and streams in a community oftentimes connect to the water supply, and this one is no different. And there's a little river that runs underneath Dodge's Row in North Beverly and connects down eventually into Wenham Lake.
Now add Miles River to your drawing.
So here we have Norwood's Pond, and this is where it exits and goes across and underneath Dodge's Row, and then turns into the Miles River. And that little stream that we just showed connects to this Miles River here, and then that flows over and across underneath the railroad tracks and Route 1A in North Beverly to Wenham Lake. And also, so does Longham Reservoir, which is over here. And we're going to go over there now and take a look at an important part of this water system that keeps our water clean and healthy and making sure we have enough of it. This is where the Miles River leaves Longham Reservoir. It's a beautiful wetland with lots of reeds, and we found a turtle nest here, which is really cool. Turtles have laid eggs. They've dug these holes, and hopefully their turtle babies came out and got into the river. And here we are, we're heading up to the reservoir, a beautiful spot. It's quiet all the time, and the reservoir was actually made when they filled in this whole area that I'm walking on here with this big pile of fill, and it prevents the water from running out of the lake quickly, and it creates this big reservoir here. And this is the important part of it all with this pump house. This little pump house here has been functioning and sending water over through a pipe towards Wenham Lake for a long time. Inside the pump house is a simple valve like this that opens and closes and that lets the water rush through it, and it's just gravity fed and goes over to Wenham Lake.
Now add Longham Reservoir and the pump house to your drawing.
Now we've made our way over to Wenham Lake. We're just over the Beverly line into Wenham on 1A, and this is where that pipe from the pump house at Longham Reservoir leads to, and it helps fill the lake every now and again when the water levels get low, and they can let the water flow through. It's a beautiful ecosystem here. It's very well protected. We have one more stop on today's virtual field trip.
Now draw and label Wenham Lake.
We are here at the Salem Beverly Water Treatment Facility. This facility runs 24 hours a day, 7 days a week to ensure our water is clean and healthy. They monitor the ecosystem very closely to make sure there's no pollution or anything in there, and maybe on one of our next field trips we'll actually get inside and take a look at how they're doing so.
Lastly, add the water treatment facility and your home to finish off your drawing. Now pause the video and try your best using arrows to map out how you think the water flows in order to get to your home.
Go.
Okay, let's see how we did. So in this watershed, Norwood Pond drains into the Miles River. The Miles River runs into Wenham Lake. The Longham Reservoir naturally drains into the Miles River. However, the pump house gives direct access from the reservoir right to Wenham Lake. So it's faster. When needed, the water can move from the reservoir to Wenham Lake. From the lake, the water goes to the treatment facility. From the treatment facility, the water can either go over to the water tower to be stored or directly to my home or your home. And then, if needed, water will drain from the water tower all the way over to our houses as well. And that's very simply, that's our watershed.
On our hike, we saw a lot of evidence of people polluting these ecosystems, which would impact both the plants, animals, and water system. Be sure to hike responsibly, stay on marked trails, and never leave any trash or anything in the woods.
Here we are at our last stop of the field trip today at the water treatment facility, where our water comes to be filtered and cleaned to then get dispersed out into our community. We hope you've enjoyed your time with us today, and we hope that you continue your research with some of the questions that we have for you. Thank you, and hope to see you next time.